Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to Transfer Hub, your home of Aston Villa's transfer news, links, rumours, murmurings, anything transfer-wise, Villa news. You'll hear it here on Transfer Hub. Firing him up a little bit earlier, we had Kevin De Bruyne last week, and today's more of a opinion slash gauging your thoughts on a specific player. And for me personally, Bryan Mbeumo is absolutely quality. And he's been rumoured to be leaving Brentford from Thomas Frank. So he looks like he's available and he's going to potentially be leaving in the summer. So we're going to get into it. We're going to have a look at where he could potentially fit in at Aston Villa. And you guys at home, let me know whether he's a player that you would want to come to Aston Villa, etc. So if you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing. We're close to 25k, which is huge. So help me out, subscribe, smash the likes, and most importantly, as always, get involved in the comment section on your thoughts. So, Mbeumo is a player that a little bit like, remember Nicholas Anelka back in the day, when you look at him and you go, you've got to be about nearly 40 by now. And Mbeumo, like, he's just one of them where you look at him and you go, 25? Feels like he's been around the Premier League for absolutely ages, but he hasn't, and he's only 25. So where is all of this coming from? So I did a little bit of a piece on Twitter just reacting to this rumor, and it went along the lines of reacting to The Athletic, who was saying that Thomas Frank has admitted Brentford could sell Mbeumo this summer. Brentford head coach does not think the 25-year-old forward will push for a transfer, but he could not rule out his exit, which is very interesting. Then I went on to say that he's an Unai Emery type player and that Aston Villa should be all over this. And the reason why I think that is that there is going to need to be a bit of an overhaul on Villa's right-hand side. And just like Asensio, we've got certain positions for me that are made for specific players. And the Mbeumo off the right for Aston Villa is just a match made in heaven, in my opinion. We go and have a little look at currently what is going on at Aston Villa on the right-hand side. And this is all dependent on right back and forwards and specific players maybe still being here, moving specific players around the pitch. But general makeup of Villa is that when Rodgers is on the right, he wants to invert. And being on that right doesn't really suit his game too much. Playing down the middle, Rodgers, perfect. We get the best out of him. And Mbeumo playing off the right in the position that he does play, but then being able to go and play behind the striker could then enable a partnership with Rodgers and Mbeumo, link up movement, versatility, changing positions, being dynamic. Mbeumo at Villa could be absolutely perfect. He's just so good playing down the. He's lethal. He takes his chances. He's a massive threat. He's pacey. He does defensive work very well. And that's why I think he's an Unai Emery player. A player as well. And Thomas Frank, everyone knows I rate him in such a high regard as being a top coach. But Emery could unlock more there, I think. Emery could coach more out of his game. So if we have a little look at his stats from this season and we can start to see where he's operating for Brentford, 25 years of age, left-footed, playing on that right-hand side. His strengths are his penalty taking, again, something that would impact Aston Villa massively, positioning, high pressing, and his weakness is aerial duels here, whereas I'm going to cut that narrative straight away, and I'll show you in a second that one of his strengths actually is his aerial duels. So this season, we have got a SOFA score rating of 7.52, which is in that 7 bracket that I like to put most players in and say that if you are in and around 7, then you are excelling in your position. Heat map, we can see predominantly on that right-hand side, but drifting inside, going into that central area on that right-hand side as well. 33 appearances. We've got 18 goals, and this is in the Premier League this season. 18 goals, expected goals of 10.56. So we are outperforming our XG as well. So for a player, that is really good. So we've got 2.2 shots per 90, 1.1 on target, goal conversion rate of 25%. Passing, we have got as well assists actually of 6, expected assists at 8.53. So we're just shy of what our expected assists are. Touches per 90, 49.6. Big chances created, 16. Key passes, 1.9. The pass accuracy is at 75%. Own half, 81%. Opposition half, 64%. Defending, we are at 1.2 tackles per game. 4.2 ball recoveries. Clearances are at 1.2. And then we can see successful dribbles are at 52%, which is really high. We've got total duels at 46, aerials at 32%, and ground duels at 52 as well. If we have a look at his transfer market value, it's high. It's in and around 50 million. And then if we have a little look at the aerials, you will see that he's at 0.92 and that we are in the top 80% of those. Clearances, 92. And then we've got the big one there, non-penalty goals, 0.39 per 90. And that's in the 84% percentile. So a very, very good player, and a player that Aston Villa, in my opinion, should be absolutely all over, looking to bring into Aston Villa because he's got Premier League experience, the numbers are there, and he would be a welcome addition. What I think some people might be saying is that why Villa? A lot of clubs will be sniffing in around him, of course. But I think there's a lot of players in the Premier League at the minute that will be getting a lot of attention. Eze, Gibbs White to Man City, Cunha to Man United. So Mbeumo would be a player, in my opinion, that I think Villa and Monchi should absolutely be all over. Now, there's a lot of rumours around outgoings for Aston Villa, Martinez, Rodgers, etc. And I'm gonna stay quiet, guys. I'm staying quiet. And the reason why I'm gonna be doing that is because our season is not over. And for me, now is not the time to be speculating over our own players. I don't mind doing it about other players, but I'm not doing it about our own because it's very disruptive. It's not needed. And we need to focus fully on the next 4 games to be getting the maximum out of our season. So the time will come when we talk about potential outgoings for Aston Villa. But for now, I'm only focusing on incomings and players that I think would add value to Aston Villa. So when I saw that article today, the first thing that I thought was Aston Villa. Aston Villa on that right-hand side is something that's going to need to be addressed. And Mbeumo would just be like, slot him straight in, and then we're absolutely cooking straight away. So I wanted to bring you this Mbeumo. I think it's more of like an opinion piece. So it would be good to get your opinions and insights on how you're feeling about a player like Mbeumo. Thanks, everyone that's been watching the content this week. Match preview, predicted lineup, going down really well. We've got opposition preview that's going to be out tomorrow as well. And then all of our content, fan cams, probably a match reaction, debrief. And then we'll turn our attention on to Bournemouth, who are up next away. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. They're the things that matter to me. So cheers, everyone, for watching. Do your bit. Subscribe to the channel. Up the Villa.